Welcome to Fat Over 40. My name's Miles, and in this episode we're going to be back with G in the kitchen, and she's going to explain the difference between a smoothie and a juice. Now, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. There's a new film every single Friday, and if you like what you hear, then give us a thumbs up. If you know someone that needs to start a weight loss journey, then tell them to get involved and get in touch. And most importantly, comment down below. If you have a smoothie every day, why don't you let us know what you put into your smoothies? We love to hear what you've got to say, so comment and get involved. Now, did you catch last week's film? If not, there's a link above to take you straight to it, where G gives an introduction to juicing, and down below we'll be linking everything so you can check it out after the video's finished. So what you're about to see with Juice with G, and you're only going to get that joke if you watched last week's film, where I managed to get the name of her website wrong, not once, not twice, but I think 3 times in total. So there's the link there, Juice with G, and this special link will take you to her I can't even say it, her free 3-day juice cleanse. So get involved, absolutely, it's free. Now, let's get over to the kitchen where I've cut G's head off. I mean, this recording stuff's really quite hard, isn't it? Yeah, for another session of how to tell the difference between a juice and a smoothie. So over to the kitchen with G.
Hi again, we're back to talk a little bit more about juices today. Yesterday we covered the 3 key reasons why juice cleanse detox is so effective. So I'll just give you a recap of those. The first reason is by drinking juices, it gives your digestive system a rest. The second reason is you're alkalizing your body, and the body runs most effectively in a slightly alkaline pH. And the third reason is you're reducing your calories, therefore your body needs to burn fat cells for energy, which will also break down the toxins in your body. So today I want to cover with you which type of juice should you drink when you're doing a detox, and specifically the difference between a juices versus a smoothie. So first of all, we'll cover what they are and the difference between the two, and then why you should drink one over the other when you're doing a detox. So first of all, a juice is a drink which is made on a machine like this, if you have a home juicer. The produce goes through here, there's a really fast blade in the middle which extracts all the pulp and the fibre, and all you're left with is the liquid element of the produce. So what you get at the end is a very smooth juice, so there's no bits in there at all. A smoothie is made in a blender, so you would put all your produce whole into there, whiz it up, and the pulp and the fibre would remain in the drink. So it's a lot more thick and chunky to drink, I suppose. So that's the difference between a juice and a smoothie. Both are great when you're just getting more nutrition into your diet on a daily basis, so both are really good for that. But when you're doing a juice detox, as I mentioned before, the number one reason why detox works is to rest the digestive system. So what I'm going to compare now is how long it takes to digest either. So first of all, when you're drinking a juice with no pulp and no fibre, that can get down to cellular level and into your body within 15 minutes, which is great. The difference between a smoothie, which has all the pulp within that, it takes 45 minutes. So if you are doing a juice cleanse, one of the key reasons it works is you're resting your digestive system. Each juice you drink, if you're drinking a smoothie, that's an extra half an hour's work your body's having to do. So I would recommend you drink a smooth juice if you're doing a detox. I will just cover also what types of juices you should drink. You may want to dash out to the supermarket, pick up some juices off the shelf and off you go. I'm going to say completely don't do that, and there's a key reason for that is that the nutrition in that juice isn't living anymore. So if you buy a juice off the shelf from a supermarket, Tropicana for example, that has been heat pasteurised to kill all the germs, which gives it its shelf life at the supermarket. So when you're doing a juice cleanse, it's really important to drink live living nutrition. So ideally you need to be making the juice each time you drink it on a juicer. You know it's fresh, it's still living, and you can drink it. Alternatively, you can buy your juices in from a specialist juice provider, and they will deliver the cold pressed juices to you. If you're drinking a juice from this juicer, it should be consumed straight away. These juices last about 30 minutes, and the reason that is because the blade spins so fast, it does get heat and oxygen into the juice, and it will spoil after about 30 minutes. So each juice you're making, create the juice and drink it. If you get your juices in from a specialist provider, They have big machines which actually cold press the juice in a much slower, more gentle process. And if you bought them in for a specialist provider, they should last 3 days. So you could get all 3 juices for your 3-day juice cleanse in one delivery. The only thing you need to think about there is space in your fridge. Have you got some room for it all? So that's the difference between juices and smoothies, and I hope that's dispelled some of the myths about what juices you should drink on a juice cleanse. Remember, if you want more information, have a look at my website, juicewithgee. It will tell you everything you need to know. And remember to follow me on Instagram.
Welcome back. So there we go. That's the difference between a juice and a smoothie. So try and see if you can get a smoothie into your diet every day. It really will sort of help you with your weight loss journey. Next up, it's me trying my very first green juice. This was something I guess I was dreading. So let's get back over to the kitchen and find out exactly what happened when I tried my first green juice. And there will be a link directly to G's blog where you can get all the details of what goes into it and how to do it. So back over to the kitchen for me and G with my green juice. Now we're here with G, and she's going to run us through all of the ingredients and how you make your own juice at home. So G, take it away.
Thanks, Miles. So yeah, the last couple of days we've run through the benefits of doing a juice cleanse detox. We've run through what juice you should drink when you're doing a detox, which is a smooth juice made on a juicer like this one. So today we're going to run through an example of a green juice, and it's a green juice for beginners. So what we've got is 3 simple ingredients: kale, cucumber and pineapple. Miles is chopping up our fresh pineapple for us, ready to juice. So one thing I will mention about a kale, if you buy it in the supermarket, it generally comes in a bag like this, pre-chopped up, ready to cook. If you put the pre-chopped up kale leaves through the juicer, it won't create too much juice. So if you can, you want to find a market that sells kale more in its whole form, so you've got more of the stalk to juice. If you can only get this chopped stuff, it's fine. You'll just need to use more kale in the recipe to get a bit more juice out. So kale is an ingredient that has quite a distinct strong flavour. So we're going to mix it with some other ingredients, so just to take that bitterness away. If you really don't like the taste of kale, you can switch that out for spinach. So how much should we put in a juice for one person? I would put 1/3 of a cucumber, 1/3 of a pineapple and a good old handful of kale for one juice. We're just going to juice the whole lot today, so we're going to make a bit of a batch for ourselves. So are you almost ready there, Miles?
Do you want the core in the middle?
We can keep, yeah, we can juice the core, it's no problem at all.
Okay, G.
Right, let's get the juicer on. It will be quite noisy, so it's far away.
Okay. Do we just put it in?
So let's start with calories. So Miles, how are you feeling about drinking your first ever green juice?
A little bit apprehensive, but I'm sure it is going to be lovely.
Now, one thing you were saying to me is it's an acquired taste, and on your weight loss journey you've been drinking protein shakes, for example.
Yes.
And initially the taste wasn't that great.
No.
And now you're used to that taste. So that's probably what you'll find with juicing. If you're not used to eating and drinking these vegetables, it might taste strange at first, but the more you introduce it into your diet, the easier it becomes. So
I'm going to try and drink it with the same face that they do on TV when they have to taste something and you know that they don't like it. So they go, oh, it's lovely.
So you have got the kale, there will be an element of bitterness, but the pineapple should sweeten it. So I hope that you find it palatable. Cheers.
Here we go. Cheers. Well, do you know what? It actually is really nice.
Yay! I'm really pleased that you like it.
I can't really taste the kale.
No, there you go. I think we probably could have put a bit more kale in there, but the fact that there is some kale in there, there's some goodness from the kale in there. But you could have put a bit more kale in, I guess. But cheers. I'm pleased you've had your first green juice.
It's really smooth. It's quite sweet. I think obviously the pineapple.
Yeah.
I can taste the cucumber, but I like cucumber anyway. Yeah, it tastes like a really nice salad in a glass.
Yeah, it's a kind of a drink. You get used to it.
Yeah.
That might seem strange at first because you're not used to drinking salad, but once you get the hang of it and you try different flavours, you will get used to it. So what I've got is a list of juice recipes and shopping lists. So if you did want to do a 3-day juice cleanse, I've got the exact ingredients you need to buy. There's 6 different flavoured juices that you drink throughout each day, and the recipes and amounts that you need to put into each juice. So you can find that below. We'll put a link to that
We will.
on the website.
I will put a link to that, yeah.
And I just wish you good luck, but experiment. If there are some of the flavoured juices that you don't like, just switch things out for other things and experiment yourself.
So, there we go. My very first green juice, and guess what? I actually really enjoyed it, and I've actually had one since. So there we go. Now, this is the link that will take you straight to all of the details of that green juice. But now, you're about to see me try my very first nut milk. And as part of the detox, the nut milk is where I'm going to get my protein. So back over to myself and G in the kitchen for my very first nut milk. So we're here with the lovely G again, and G's going to explain the ingredients and what goes into this particular nut milk while I pick the dates.
Thanks, Miles. So the last couple of days we've explained why a juice cleanse is so effective, and we've tried a green juice. Today we're going to show you how to make the drink that you would have first thing in the morning and last thing at night when you're doing a 3 or 5 day juice cleanse. It's important to have a balanced juice cleanse. So what I put together is a recipe for a 3-day juice cleanse. So there's 6 different flavoured juices, 2 of which are effectively a nut milk. So the ingredients that I've chosen to use are cashew nuts. You can make this with almonds. There's just another step in the process that you need to sieve the kind of the almond peel out of that. So that's why I use cashews. It's a lot easier. You can just drink the juice straight away. So in a juice cleanse, you need a little bit of, you're right there, Mark?
Yeah, it's sticky.
You need a little bit of protein, you need a bit of fibre. So we've got dates, we've got the nuts. And then just to make that taste even nicer, I've got 2 flavours. One is chocolate and one is vanilla. Who doesn't like chocolate and vanilla? Everybody likes chocolate and vanilla. So in the morning, you'll have your chocolate drink. We've got raw cacao powder for that. And cacao actually works as a natural stimulant. It's a little bit like coffee, not as strong whatsoever, but we have that in the morning just to help wake you up. And vanilla is a natural calming element, so that's really good in the evening to help you get off to sleep.
Super.
So what you have to do with the nuts, cheers, is soak the cashews for at least 2 hours. We're only going to make the chocolate one today, Miles.
Yeah.
So don't need the vanilla today.
Oh.
That was just an example.
Silly me.
But it's made the same way, you would just add vanilla instead. So what you need to do to make this drink is soak your cashews for a minimum of 2 hours or overnight. So you would soak them in water. You can add a little bit of salt to the water just to speed up the process. And what that does is helps the nuts to release an enzyme, which is quite difficult for us to break down. And it also helps make the drink a lot more smooth. So the exact quantities I have got in my free recipe guide, which if you click the link below you can get your hands on. And so this is a recipe, we've got enough for 3 drinks I think today, so we're going to make a little batch. So we're going to put in the cashews, pre-soaked, the very well prepared dates by Mike. They're going to go into, we're going to put in some raw cacao powder, the chocolate, the yummy bit. Probably want a couple of heaped spoons of that. And the final ingredient, which might be surprising, is sea salt. Now the reason we need to add salt is because your body doesn't generate its own salt. You do need to get that from your diet. So if you do a juice cleanse and you have no drinks with salt in, you will feel absolutely wiped out. So in my juice cleanse you will have a pinch of salt in both your breakfast and your last meal for the day. So we'll just pour a little bit out, not too much. So we're making 3 drinks here. Probably about that much for 3 drinks. And then we'll top it up with filtered water. So as I say, the quantities are in my free giveaway, which the link will be below for you. It's 300 ml of water per drink. So that should be enough. Okay,
right.
Now, this might be a bit noisy.
There we go.
So you do want to blend that for probably a minute, or just make sure it looks relatively smooth in your blender. Now you can make this up to 3 days in advance if you keep it in an airtight container in the fridge. So you could make all of your drinks for your cleanse in one go. Ready, Miles? Are you ready to taste your first cashew drink?
Okay.
Here goes nothing.
I'm not going to pull the face, am I? Okay, well I like chocolate and I like nuts and I like dates. So what's there not to like?
Exactly.
Cheers, G. This is why they don't eat things and talk when they present it on TV. Do you know what? It tastes quite like salted caramel.
That's the dates, yeah, really good. So you would drink that for your breakfast on your cleanse. How do you think you would find that?
Well, piece of piss, really. I mean,
absolutely. Cheers. So remember, you can get all the exact ingredients and recipe by clicking the link below. Have you got lumps in yours?
If you do one thing this week, don't take a drink just before you're about to speak. So, there we go. A big thank you to G for coming along and sharing with us everything we need to know about juicing. And in this episode, particularly, nut milk. So there we have it. That's the end of our little mini-series of Juice with G. See, I didn't say juicing again. So this is their website. Check out this particular link. It'll take you straight to the free 3-day juice cleanse. Take advantage of that offer. It's not going to be there forever. Also, get involved and comment down below and let us know exactly what sort of juice you like or what sort of smoothie you have as part of your diet. Now, next week it's Halloween, so what is my Halloween special going to be? Well, I'm doing a little collab with some of the guys in the States that are also on their weight loss journey, so the only way to find out is to get tuned in next week and watch the Halloween special. So, you guys, if you make one change this week, get juicing so you don't die fat.